I don't
But
think Rich is going to join us either. I think he's HQS in it again.
yeah, he's him and Enzo are hanging out with Harley Quinn Smith. They might be doing the good old Eiffel Tower on that.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
whatever, man. Hey, whatever floats your boat.
Uh, so I know you're prepping for a couple big things right now, and uh, I figured just kind of give you a little bit of a break here, and we did a headlines episode. I looked it back up. I think it was in February.
Yeah, it
Um,
sounds about right.
yeah, so kind of doing that again. Before we did this several months ago, I just kind of perused the internet and local and national and maybe even the world, I guess, for these random headlines. And these are the ones, and they did it again. But when we did it back in February, it was just got your initial reaction, not having any context. This is just like, here's the headline. What do you think? Type thing.
And just to be
So,
clear, you have not read any of these articles, correct?
no, not at all. Not in so much as in I know very little about something that we'll talk about at the dead end.
Okay.
But for the most part, for the fun, like the real fun stuff, yeah, no.
Okay. All
Um,
right, I'm with it, man. Let's do this. Let's see how high we can get my blood pressure today.
all right. So, and I try to keep this as light-hearted as possible because I don't want to get you like all stroked out or anything. um, but all right. So headlines. Now again, these are from like local, national, world. I think there's a couple that maybe come from blogs. So maybe they're not real journalists or whatever, but
Yeah,
whatever.
close
Close
enough.
enough. So, all right. So the first one
Jinx.
is, yeah, jinx. All right. Podcast over. First one is, what's up with Dollar Tree's Donald Duck juice?
Dollar Tree's Donald Duck juice. I don't know, but now I want to go to Dollar Tree, and I can't ever say that I have ever been like, oh yeah, and I really need to go to Dollar Tree. So if nothing else, it's got me interested. What I dare I Google Donald Duck juice?
You go knock yourself
I
out.
feel like it's going to be like Ric Flair drip.
It very well could be. I only saw a picture. I did see a picture of this one, and it looked like some like off-brand Sunny D. But it did have
Donald
Donald
Duck
Duck on the
juice.
pictures or on the label, so I don't know.
So yeah, man, there's like all different kinds of Donald Duck juice, which doesn't sound right at all. Um, so the bottles look like Gatorade bottles, and I see where you got the article from. I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to ruin it. But it looks like Walmart sells it in those old. Remember the old high C cans where it
Yes,
was like you had to pop, like literally pop the
up the
top of
top.
it.
Yeah,
So that, and then there's like some other ones that have like retro style, like Donald Duck Florida orange juice and grapefruit and orange juice blended together. Like,
yeah. Just looking at some of these pictures, it looks like this stuff goes back and dates quite some time.
yeah, man.
I
So
can't think I've ever even heard of it until today.
so it actually it's been around since the 1940s,
Dang.
and you can buy it in both refrigerated juice and frozen concentrate forms. Um, look, man, Donald Duck has his feathers in multiple uh different what's the word I'm looking for here? Enterprises, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And I trust him. I trust him. He's a sailor. He's trying to keep scurvy at bay, so he wants to have high quality orange juice.
He still doesn't wear any pants.
And he still doesn't wear any pants because he's a creep. But that's what worries me when it's called Donald Duck juice, because I'm wondering where this juice is coming from. But I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's actually on the level. Um, but there's other flavors, so like
Yeah, I mean, I
there,
guess it started off as like 100% orange juice, and then they branched out.
I mean, they've got grape, so automatically I'm in, and it's purple grape, not like
Yeah, not the
that nasty white grape juice. So, dude, I'm in. I'm in on Donald Duck Juice. I kind of want to try it. But since I mentioned Ric Flair drip, I sent to you and Richie, I think, or I tagged you guys in it, the video of Ric Flair and Mike Tyson smoking a joint
Yes,
together.
yes.
How freaking hilarious was
Just
that?
it cracks me up. I don't know. It probably I don't know. You get the baddest man on the planet, who's now at this point probably the highest man on the planet.
The baddest bumblebee on the planet.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, you know. I don't know. I guess this is just what happens whenever these stars start to age.
Yeah. The what is it called? The stuff that I have that is making me not be able to think of words. CTE. When the CTE
Yeah.
catches up to you.
Well, it could be, and I'm sure they don't even know that they're staying with each other at this point.
No. No, he's just wooing and Mike Tyson's just high as a kite.
Yep.
So,
Oh man.
all right, let's go on to the next one. What do you got for me?
All right. This one was just funny because, and I'll read you the headline that had a sub headline.
Oh Jesus.
This device makes creating voice memos easy. Record notes, conferences, and more with a pocket-sized device.
Is it a cell phone?
That's
Because
what I
I'm
thought.
pretty sure it's a cell phone. And if it's not, is it like one of those remember when we would drive around and we thought we were cool because I had that little voice recorder, the MIDI tape recorder, and we would try it whenever basically we would do this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I found that the other day, by the way, when I was moving. When I was moving stuff, I actually found the old tape recorder. So it's still, I have it. I don't know where the fuck I put it, but I do still have it. But that's like, really, we're still selling like separate devices at this point? I feel like an iPhone or an Android device at this point is good enough. I don't think I need a separate device for it unless I'm trying to like keep it separate and like not let my spouse or significant other find it. You know, like I'm doing secret squirrel like under the table diabolical shit, you know?
Right.
Like
I think that, you know, knowing how some you know organizations are, you know, like I think you're right. I think that's what it is. It has to stay separate, separate of a phone. I just think it's hysterical because the general public, like, yeah, years ago, that's what we'd all go for, was the mini tape recorders, or, you know, those things. It cracks me up that the way the headline goes, like, hey, this makes it easy. And it's like, my first reaction too, I was like, so does a phone?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, I even remember the digital ones where it was it was like a separate device, but it was all digital that you would just talk into, and it was like a separate thing. But like that's the only. But they're acting like it's some kind of new
right.
technology, like nobody's ever had it before. Homeboy, listen, that shit's been around since the 80s, 70s. You know, like you got nothing new for me. Bring me something new.
No,
If you're going to talk about it like that, I need something new and exciting.
right, exactly. And that's the thing.
While I'm doing it.
I said this already, but yeah, all of these headlines here, they're within the last month. I didn't pull this stuff from like 1979.
Yeah,
This is all within the last month. So yeah, it just goes to show you how.
it's got to get me a McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit while it's recording in order for me to get excited about it.
Exactly. I just thought that was a good one. All right, here we go. Cornbread hemp founders tout crowdfunding success.
So, all right, the only thing, the first thing that ever comes to mind whenever I hear cornbread
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
is what you call. What was that movie Life with Martin Lawrence and who was it? Martin Lawrence and I can't remember who was in it, but
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
it was Eddie Murphy. It was Eddie Murphy
Yes.
and Martin Lawrence, and they're in jail or whatever. And hey, you want your cornbread? You touch my cornbread, there'll be consequences, repercussions. Like that's all. Whenever I hear cornbread, that is literally the next two things that go through my mind. You want your cornbread? Touch my cornbread, then we consequences, repercussions.
I always think of the Chris Rock song, the No Sex in the Champagne Room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that song. Honestly.
Cornbread. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But
Yeah, just
so,
like, but this is okay. So this one, obviously, this one I didn't read whatsoever. I'm kind of curious though as
hemp
to exactly what
cornbread.
cornbread hemp is.
Yeah, that dude. Honestly, like, I'm kind of intrigued. Like cornbread hemp, like, because obviously hemp, the non hallucinogenic or non psychoactive version of marijuana, um, used in rope and clothing and fabrics and stuff like that. Um, I'm not eating rope and clothing and fabrics. Why would I want that on my cornbread?
Oh, it's a company.
Okay, it's just
That's the
called,
name of the
that's
company.
just the name of the company.
All
Okay,
right.
so it's not really like
No, it's just a funny name
hemp and
for it.
cornbread mixed together.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's
That's what my immediate reaction was too. I was like, it's mixed.
yeah. I can't see putting hemp in your cornbread making it taste any better.
No, not
It's
today.
not like pot brownies.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like cornbread, but I just don't think that really would make a good. Nah, not
Right.
together.
Yeah, that together, it's not like peanut butter and jelly. It's not two great tastes taste great together. It's one thing that tastes good and the other thing that I don't think you should probably be eating.
No. I agree. All right. Next one. I shouldn't have called fly fishing dumb.
Did your grandpa beat you?
That's
Because
why I went.
honestly, like I don't know, man. Look, I know. All right, so we're probably gonna piss off Kyler on this one, and that's about the
I
only
don't think he
listener.
fly fishes though.
No, okay, well that's good because I feel like that's what I picture fly fishing. I picture 90-year-old men that really they don't know what the fuck they're doing, so they just have them out there just kind of like repeatedly like fucking flicking their fly rod, like I know what fly fishing is. I know what the idea of it is, but it seems like the dumbest fucking thing in the world to me. Like give that old person a fucking Wii.
So they can play some bowling.
Yeah, let them play bowling. They'll enjoy that more. Trust me. There's
So
100% less chance of drowning if they're playing Wii bowling.
this one actually had a sub headline too.
Oh Jesus.
So I shouldn't have called fly fishing dumb. It's actually much worse than that, and you have to chase a mythical fish they call a trout.
All right, so I'm on board with this. I'm on board with this headline now. Like, no, because it really it just seems like the dumbest fucking thing in the world. Like, I'm not. Look, I guess I'm not qualified really to say anything about it because I'm not a fisherman at all. Like, I used to like going with my dad when I was little, but fucking, I couldn't tell you the last time I went fishing.
Yeah,
But
like regular, just I infrequently here. I don't do it a lot. But hell, I think we've got our fishing licenses for the next several months anyway for the state. But yeah, I've never fly fished. And my best thing is like I guess it just mimics bugs or whatever
yeah,
hitting the water. I could be completely wrong. I'm just making a grand assumption. It just like it's a lot of work.
so the most fishing I've ever done is in Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, and then subsequent Switch remake, and Fire Emblem Three Houses. That's it, man. I don't. I think maybe I did some fishing in Fable at one point.
They
But
added fishing in the anniversary edition of Skyrim.
did they?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did they? Okay.
And then
Well,
well, surely you've wasted many an hour fishing in Animal Crossing.
oh, I completely forgot that you could fish in Animal Crossing. Yeah, you know
Mhm.
what? Yeah, I did. I did back when Animal Crossing was a thing.
Yeah. It's a good
But
game
I
for the
did,
time.
especially on the 3DS, because on the 3DS was the first one where you could go to like this special island and hunt for sharks. And so I was trying to catch sharks like nobody's business. And then like 2 days later, I got so bored with it, I got rid of the game. But there was like a 2-day period where I was like a shark, like I was an apex predator for sharks. Like I was just fucking them up.
And then you're like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, put them
40
all in
hours later,
cages and then just took off.
cutting it off. All right. All right, now here you go. I'm gonna give you. I did this before too, where it's just like very basic. Like here's a 5-word headline
Okay.
that this is all it says, and I have no frame of reference on this. It's just
Okay.
all it said. Generalizing from cars to vans.
Like like the general car insurance?
I don't know.
Like, dude, whoever wrote that headline sucks ass. They need to just be fired. Generalizing from cars to vans. Generalizing what, motherfucker? Are you generalizing the person that's driving it? Are you generalizing the vehicle? Are you what are you generalizing? What the fuck about cars and vans are you generalizing? Hey, am I cutting in and out? Because my little blue speaker thing that's
No, you've been on the
okay.
whole time.
All right, 'cause it freaked me out.
No, you're good. Yeah, I saw that one too, and I was like, "What?" And I honestly think it ended up being a like someone's YouTube thing, but I was like, "Ah, good enough."
So you made a YouTube video about generalizing the drivers of vehicles? Like, you're a fucking dipshit, man. I don't fucking like you.
Yeah, there is no telling. I will say this, and part of the reason why I don't think I got it and you either is because generalizing is spelled with an S. So it's
Oh, so it's
yeah,
European.
yeah.
It's probably
But
British.
still, even then, it still doesn't make any sense to me.
No, well, I mean, listen, they call cookies biscuits and they call potato chips crisps. So, and they call pants, that's what they call underwear.
Mm, that's
So
weird.
then, like actual pants, like traditional God-fearing American pants are trousers, or
Right,
they got
right.
all these weird ass names. So you know what? No, I'm kidding. I love the British for
Yeah,
real.
they
Like,
are. Yeah,
if I could find a woman with a British accent or an Irish accent,
yeah.
it'd be good.
Just
Be
pop
good.
on over to England. It's like
Ah,
it's like a short drive.
jolly old England. Yeah, it's just short trip. Hey, remember when Google Maps used to actually give you driving instructions on how to drive from the mainland US to Europe? And
Yeah,
it would
they
be
did.
like, drive to such and such a point, get out of your car and swim so many miles.
Yeah.
That was the best.
They used to do some really cool things. Speaking of that, actually, they did the 8-bit map years
Yeah,
ago. That was cool.
they did a Pokemon hunting thing back before Pokemon Go came out.
That's right. Yeah, they did do that. Did
Yeah,
some pretty cool stuff back in the day with that. But then they got all, I don't know, all fancy. They don't do the fun stuff
corporate.
anymore.
They got all corporate and
Yeah.
their soul left them, and that's how it
Mm,
works.
yeah. Might as well just call them WWECW.
Yep, exactly.
Um. All right. Here we go. Here's another one. The Rotary Unsmart Phone is an unsmart mobile phone with a disc dialer.
I saw this.
Oh, did you?
I did, and I'm so torn, man. Because on one hand, it would be cool as fuck to have a rotary cell phone, but god damn, can you imagine trying to text on that piece of shit? It would be such a pain in the dick. Like, I'm not trying. Look, T9 was bad enough. I'm not trying to do rotary texting. Fuck that. Imagine trying to make an emoji with a fucking rotary phone.
I just want to know, like, how would you even do that?
It's got to be some kind of mechanical, like, I'm assuming it runs Android, if I had to guess. Like some kind of
I have
Android
no idea.
underneath
Yeah,
like some
we
kind of
can
UI.
we can cheat and look and see what this thing's all about because I actually thought it was kind of neat, but obviously no way I would have, you know.
Like
Let's see.
if somebody gave me one and was like, "Hey, I want you to try this for like a week," I would totally do it. Or if they gave me one for free and were like, "Hey, man, if you want to just use this like every once in a while," I would totally do that. But
Holy crap!
how much is it?
You can pre-order this thing now. Just
Yeah,
take a guess.
I'm gonna say $2,000.
No, not that much.
Okay, I'm gonna say 14.
390, $390.
Oh,
So here we go. I'll give you some of the specs on it.
okay.
It's well, this doesn't help because it's in centimeters, but it's 11 by 7.5 by 3 centimeters. It is lightweight. It's only 6 ounces. It's LTE connectivity, which is okay.
Last gen, right?
Yeah. Um, It is a rotary phone though, so
Oh yeah, I guess you don't get much more last gen than that.
it actually touts this line here: access and call your personal contacts perhaps faster than with a smartphone.
But yeah, no, I don't buy it.
Use your own SIM card. So there you go. So it's basically got
Woo.
BYOD option. It has a real and not kidding mechanical bell that you can
How
see
in the
from the
fuck?
outside.
How in the fuck?
Uh,
You know what? I don't know that I buy this. I'm definitely not buying it, but I don't know that I buy this device as an actual device that works.
um, okay, so here you go a little bit more with it. It's it can actually receive basic text messages, and you can send pre-typed messages and numeric strings. So that's how that's handled.
I'm assuming it can't take pictures.
No, it has does have two displays. Has a front side OLED for caller ID and dial entry, and backside e-paper for contact display. Physical disconnect for the microphone, has a mechanical power switch. You does have a micro SD slot.
Wait. Physical disconnect for the microphone.
Yeah, physical disconnect switch for the microphone.
Oh. So you can slam down on somebody if you want to hang up on them.
That's right.
They won't know it, but you'll have the satisfaction.
That's right. Clink.
Huh. Huh.
It's USB-C.
Okay, there we go.
Actually, it does say TR. I'm not sure what this means. I don't know if this is um like an ADA thing or what, but TRRS headset jack.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. And then Arduino compatible.
Hmm.
So this is definitely something that's meant for you to like really mess with and tinker.
Yeah.
I will say this: the thing does look pretty cool. Um, you can build it like if you have the kit. Does not take any soldering. Um, it's interesting. I don't know.
Um,
I still don't think I would ever have it. But it's looking at the it's
I'm
a it's a kit phone, so basically everything is replaceable.
dude, is it the wow. I'm looking at it now and I'm so unsure of whether or not like I almost feel like this is fake. I'm just looking at it and
I don't know. This website's taking orders.
full LTE connectivity. I love this. Full LTE connectivity. Obsolescence proof for at least another decade.
Well, maybe not in America.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think because this thing shows regions all over the world. Um, so that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I just don't know. I I kind of like it, but I don't.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a really, really weird
Like
thing.
so now so is the so I see the little antenna thing that flips up. Is that the switch to hang up on people too?
I don't know. It might be.
It
That's
doesn't really
actually
say anything.
no. That's definitely a antenna for signal. I'm trying to find where this was initially developed at.
It's
Uh,
this it's a personal thing. It's a personal product that was built by Justine Haupt. It says all design, electrical, mechanical, and software was entirely by Justine Haupt.
can't be from. It's got to be overseas, right?
I would imagine. I'd imagine so. I'm I mean, all right. So let's do this. So if you were going to get one of these, what color would you get?
Uh,
Because I know which one I would get.
I'll be honest with you. I like the red one.
That's what I was. That's exactly what I was gonna
I
say.
mean, that's pretty sharp looking.
Yeah.
I don't like the beige one.
No, the beige one just reminds me of like old plastic that like
Yeah, it's all.
changed color because it was old.
Uh, black one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's like sitting on what the heck's lose my mind here. Sitting on Peter Parker's boss.
Oh, God damn it! You gave me your
I,
stupid because I can't remember
I
his
know
name.
I can't think of his name either.
J.
So,
Jonah Jameson.
yeah, yes. It's like sitting on his desk.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seafoam one's pretty cool too. I like that color.
Yeah. I'm very partial to the black, but I feel like if for no other reason the name of it, I would have to go with the red because it's Atomic Hotline Red.
Yeah. That's by far the best one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Really interesting thing. Apparently, in yeah, I don't think it's her, but I think it's one of her friends has a TED talk about similar stuff. I don't know. This is really interesting stuff. Yeah. So anyway, it's called Sky's Edge, open source tech. Yeah, really neat. I don't know. I'm kind of torn too. I don't know if I hate it or I love it.
yeah, I could go either way on it. I like. I'm definitely not giving up my iPhone for it. But
No, no,
like,
no.
if it showed up in my mailbox one day because Justine Haupt is a huge fan of the show and she really wanted us to try them, then yeah, dude, I would absolutely rock that thing and give it a whirl and see how things go with it.
Yeah. Maybe that can be a Noise Brigade branded rotary unsmartphone.
There we go. Because what better podcast to be the spokesperson for an unsmart phone than the unsmartest podcast that no one ever listens to?
Hey guys, do you want to completely crash and burn?
Yeah,
You can dump all your resources into advertising for this thing.
exactly. Exactly. I want to know, like, I would love to see numbers for the pre-orders on that.
It's got to be up to like 4 or 5.
Yeah, not 100, not 1,000, like probably one of each color.
I know what her family's getting for Christmas.
Hey guys, I got you all a new cell phone. Oh, the new iPhone? You shouldn't have. No. Oh, it's the new Android flagship? No, not really. Hey, remember back in the day when we used to spin your finger and it would just whirl around? Remember how relaxing that was? It sucked ass. Well, I mean, maybe it didn't suck that much ass. Well, why don't you look at your gift? Leave. Go. Get out. That's what you get me. I got you a Furby and you got me a fucking rotary phone. Get the fuck out of here. No, I don't know. Honestly, like I said, I feel like it's cool. It is cool. I don't know that I would be able to use it for more than like a day or a week. If it was like a novelty thing, like where I could like I don't know, I was using it for just a short period of time here and there whenever I felt like it, that would be cool.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it'd be one of those things that if I had, I guess, completely money to burn and I felt like having an additional, phone line.
Right. Well, and that would be the thing too. Like that would definitely not be my main phone. I would have to get a separate line and then activate it on there and then just be like, all right, well, I guess for fun, I'm gonna call from this rotary phone that I have here. Like it would be cool. It'd be cool for like cosplay and like stuff like that. Like think about that, a steampunk cell phone. Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and that's. I kind of want to send him a question. Can I play Angry Birds on this thing?
Yeah, you go outside, you find a bird, and you throw it.
Throw it at it.
That's how you get the red one, and you paint the red bird's face on it. And no, I'm sorry, you don't throw it at the bird. You throw it at pigs.
Yes,
So you got to go to a pig farm, and you build a little house for the pig, and then you throw it at the pig's house and try to knock it down.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So speaking of explosions, here's one. This was in all caps, by the way. This headline.
Jesus.
So, how do you make a self-destructing flash drive?
I don't know, but I want to know because, like, I've seen obviously, that's one of the things that's out there is if it's accessed by somebody that's not supposed to have access to it, they do make flash drives that kind of like will kill themselves, like
Mhm.
self-terminating flash drives. Um, they also make flash drives which will destroy whatever they're plugged into. So kids, remember if you're out at the airport and you find a random ass flash drive, don't necessarily go stick it into your computer. Go to work and use theirs. So if their computer dies, that's what it's not yours. But no, you never. That's why like it's kind of dangerous to plug in anywhere you see a USB port or you find a USB drive somewhere randomly. You never want to use it because you don't know what the fuck it's going to do. If you're willing to use that device or plug it into something or plug into a unit, it better be with something you don't necessarily need or that is pretty expendable because there's been all kinds of stories of hackers doing stuff and if for no other reason than just to get their rocks off, just to screw with people.
Yeah, yeah, and
um
it's one of those things that the government's gotten away from too.
yeah.
Flash drives aren't allowed on certain installations
Hmm.
at all. You and I both have friends that work in those fields that I've heard that more than once. It's not allowed anymore.
Right.
Even with what I do, I've gotten so far removed from it that I typically only use them whenever I need to flash Chromebook.
Yeah, well, even at my job, we're not allowed to plug anything into the USB ports on our computers.
Right, man, and
If we do, it automatically alerts IT. It will not work because people were plugging their iPhones and stuff and
for
their
charging and
Androids.
stuff. Yeah,
Right. So they were doing that. They were plugging flash drives in, stuff like that. And when you work in a sensitive, not that I work in a super sensitive position, but it's still got
still
some
sensitive enough. Yeah.
right. So you don't want people copying information and taking it. So they've eliminated that aspect of it.
Yeah, no, and it can also be issues with power as well. So
Yeah.
because it's hard to do, but it can screw some things up too
Yeah.
that way. So yeah, no, I read that and I obviously knew exactly what they were going with there, but I just thought it sounded funny because it reminded me of
Yeah.
like Inspector Gadget or
Yeah. This
yeah,
message will self destruct.
that's right. Um, all right, so now this one. This one is from a local paper.
Oh, Jesus.
This is the one that like wanted me to do this again.
Okay.
We all carry some sort of dung bag.
Dumb bag?
Dung.
Dung?
Dung.
So like a shit bag.
Like exactly.
So like um
I'm gonna tell
I
you right now, this
mean
this wasn't just a headline. This was the front page top headline.
I don't I don't have a colostomy bag. So I don't have a dung bag. And even when I walk my dog, like his harness has a little slot for the baggies, so I don't carry them either. I mean, not that I pick them up because I make sure he shits in like empty lots and stuff, but
Nah,
I'm not cleaning up an empty lot. Fuck that. Fuck do I look like?
know.
Not some shit butler.
But yeah, I just saw that was a good one because it was front page, top headline. Like usually, like the ones it's like, oh yeah, there's been a so and so parade or some great event. No, it was that.
The fuck are they even talking about?
Someone wrote a book that I think that's the title or that's the what it's about. But what you said the first time, it's basically like we all carry some sort of whatever
Baggage.
baggage. Right.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what
Oh, hey. You know what? That's okay. I mean, I probably would have worded it a little bit more eloquently, but it is Kentucky, so we'll give them a pass.
yeah,
In Florida, it would be we all carry some kind of methamphetamine on us at some time. You know,
I'll hear too.
we've all got multiple warrants out of various jurisdictions.
That's just page 2.
Yeah.
So, all right, I've got one more good of these ones, and then I've got a couple that I think will elicit some good conversation to close this up with.
Okay.
This was the funny one though. I'm now a Star Wars action figure, and I couldn't be happier.
I'm actually I wish all right, so you can have your head rotoscoped and put onto a Star Wars action
I
figure.
kind of figured this is one. That's why I made allusion
Yeah.
to that you might know about this because it leads into
And
something else. So,
I think that that's super fucking cool. Um like I wish I would have had my head rotoscoped when I was younger and better looking and in better shape and had a better hairline. Because I really don't want to see in a fat, bearded, balding me as a Star Wars character at this point. But like, if I was when I was younger, if you would have made me an action figure, because I very very succinctly remember filling out um, in a comic book. I don't remember which one it was, but there was an order form. You could order your own GI Joe, and I remember thinking, "Oh man, that would be the coolest thing ever to be a GI Joe." And I thought that it would have your face. Like I
mhm.
thought they would take a picture and basically make your face. No, they put a fucking helmet on you that you couldn't take off. Like you designed certain parts of it, certain aspects of it, but you were wearing the helmet and you couldn't take the helmet off. So it was basically like you were. It was just like, here, pick a couple different colors on this random ass GI
Right.
Joe, and we'll mail it to you. So I remember being disappointed in that. I never got it. I filled out all the stuff for it, and then I realized that it was like that it wasn't your face, and then I was like, oh fuck it, why do this?
See, years ago, I went to, gosh, this probably goes back 5, 6 years now. There's a 3D print lab up in the University of Illinois, and it's really cool. It's a small room, but they have like it's just loaded with 3D printers. And I went up there for a workshop, and they went around with the iPad and took pictures of everyone's heads, and then they modeled them, and then they printed them out.
Oh,
And you went the next day to go pick them up, and I actually still have it sitting on my desk. But it's really really cool. Like, so I kind of assumed that that's halfway what this was, but
so I do actually have for Christmas a few years back. My parents got me a bobblehead of me,
oh,
and
that's
it's
cool.
what they did is it's an Eagles bobblehead, but it's my head on it and my face, and they actually sculpted it and they sent pictures to my mom, and like throughout the process of showing, like she sent them a picture of me, and then they actually like sculpted the face and the head and everything, and like they sent her like in progress pictures of it while it was
Oh,
going on.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I accidentally saw one of the pictures early, and
Oh,
it like ruined my Christmas, but it was still pretty cool.
that is
Um,
pretty awesome.
I have it. So it's packed. It's packed away somewhere, but I do have it.
Um, all right, but on the Star Wars line, and this is what the part that I think could elicit some good conversation. At least the Star Wars part. You know me, I'm not a big Star Wars person, but this I think is not just a Star Wars centric conversation to be had. So you're familiar with James Earl Jones stepping aside, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So James Earl Jones stepping back from voicing Darth Vader, but the thing that interested me, and that was that because he's up there in age,
Hmm.
was that he had signed off on them using archived recordings to recreate his voice with AI.
Which is weird.
So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. See what you thought. I think that could be a whole nother long form show. But in the terms of headlines, this is pretty up front right now. It's interesting. What's your take on that?
So it's groundbreaking in that he's the first that I know of, the first person that has come out and said, "Hey, listen, you can use my voice in perpetuity. Use it by using the archive footage and AI, um, to recreate it and everything." And that's pretty incredible, and it sets a precedent for going forward. What I would like to see and what I hope comes from this is not that it goes for everybody. Like Luke Skywalker. So Luke Skywalker in the Mandalorian. So Luke's voice, or Mark Hamill, I should say, Mark Hamill's voice has changed as he's gotten older, as all of our voices do.
Hmm.
Um, and he actually, when they did they've done a couple of appearances with him where they used CGI, they used him, but then they CGI de-aged him, and then they actually did a similar process to um, filter his voice to make him sound like he did back then.
Right.
And I thought that was cool. It was a good way of de-aging him for it, but I was worried about its uses in the future. Like I don't want people using um, instead like let's let actual flesh and blood actors play roles. Let's not have and that's what I worry that we're going to have is like
Right.
Rachel James Dean and
The heavy deepfake technology stuff.
right. But it's very notable that James Earl Jones is going to allow because honestly, James Earl Jones he never played the character. He voiced the character.
Right.
So James Earl Jones allowing his voice to be used is weird because it's not like he actually was physically ever the character. So that's cool. I like it. I just hope it doesn't open the floodgates where everybody's like, "Oh yeah, let's use this person's voice and let's use." But the fact that he actually signed off on it and was like, "Hey, I'm giving you permission to do it," is good in my opinion. Because what I don't want is, the estate of Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's been dead for how long? I don't want her to just start popping up in movies now.
Right.
I don't want people banking on these long dead actors and actresses. I want new stars. But at the same time, if it makes sense in a James Earl Jones, like Darth Vader, you can't, if they're going to do things with Darth Vader, he has to sound like Darth Vader, And so that to me makes perfect sense. If he's one of these iconic characters.
And actually, it's funny you say that. So, like, the first thing I thought of too, it was strictly on voice. So to me, like when I heard that, I was like, again, I was kind of torn on thinking, not him necessarily. Obviously, I think that does make sense, but like something like this. So, like The Simpsons, right? There's no humans that play those parts other than the voices.
Right.
So they could theoretically AI after these people are long gone, 20 more seasons or more. God knows how long the technology could advance. And no one would never, we wouldn't know the difference.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's nuts, man.
Especially whenever you have a show. That's why I said Simpsons, because it's been on for so long. Think how much audio you have of all those characters,
And so now that does create an interesting dilemma because, most of the actors from The Simpsons are still alive to give their consent. Obviously, they lost, I can't remember her name, but the voice of Mrs. Crabapple passed away. And so they stopped using her character. And there's other characters where they're like the voice actor has left the show. And so they've stopped using the character. Wasn't it Maud Flanders? Didn't her voice actor leave the show, and then that's why they killed her off?
I think so. And they had some weird things too, if I remember correctly. You had like the Lunch Lady Doris stuff where she passed away, but then they had somebody else voice her in subsequent seasons. Not that she was a main character, but
right.
It was a more gruff person that did it. You could tell there was a difference. But then you did have the Lionel Hutz, right? Because Phil Hartman, died. And that he went away. I don't think he ever came back.
No, yeah, he never. None of his characters ever came.
No, so some of those. But yeah, no, I think, but you still have such the main, obviously the main crew still there, and like you said, I mean, they have to sign off on it. But that main crew is also responsible for like I don't know how many other characters within the show itself.
Right.
So it's pretty ridiculous that. But I think the same can be said for any cartoon. Especially one that's been long running like that, because then you have a laundry list of possibilities. But like you said, I'm kind of the same boat, though. It's like, where does this go?
Right.
Because,
I mean, you and I, we haven't really kept up on our Simpsons watching. We're both avid fans, but I can't tell you. Like, I'll sit down and watch, but I don't sit down every Sunday night and watch like I used to. Not to say I haven't seen some of the newer episodes, because I have. I've sat down and watched them on Hulu or whatever. but it's not must see TV. It's not appointment TV like it used to be.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind if all of those characters, all those actors, I should say, voice actors, signed off on having their voices used in a way like James Earl Jones did.
Yeah.
I would be okay with it. I guess I don't know, because think about it this way. So Kermit the Frog, right? So ever since Jim Henson died, Kermit the Frog hasn't really sounded right. But imagine if we could have Kermit the Frog voiced by Jim Henson in perpetuity.
Hmm. Which
Like,
is possible,
yeah,
you know. I don't know. It's really weird. Like I said, it's one of those things. I'm the same way. I'm just kind of torn with all that. It's kind of goes back to the remake stuff that we've talked about. And then just different things. It's like one part of me would be like, yeah, it's really cool to keep it going with the new technology, but the other side is I also see kind of like the dark side of it too. It's like you know, I don't want to be deep faked or faked to a point where it's like I'm really trying to figure out what's real.
right,
You know, I kind of want to know.
right.
Like obviously with the James Earl Jones thing, look, voice actor, whatever, pretty easy to tell. Especially if they create something after he passes away. All right, fine, we got that figured out. He's the one that signed off on it. You know what I mean? So I think that's how like you could kind of get away with it, saying, okay, all right. But for the nefarious things or like the things that you're not prepared for, that is kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want estates of deceased actors to come out and try and make a quick buck. I don't want to see Marilyn Monroe, like I said, in a Levi's commercial. I don't want to see James Dean in a Pepsi commercial. I don't want to see Carrie Fisher. I don't want to see Carrie Fisher selling me anything. I don't want to see Carrie Fisher in a new movie. I want Carrie Fisher acted. She had iconic roles. She lived her life, and her final role, it was perfect. Everything ended perfectly. We don't need her back.
Right.
And at this point, I feel like any kind of, it was a little weird seeing her in Rogue One, which I have. Well, no, you're not a Star Wars fan. So
No, yeah. Only
So,
through like articles and seeing things is how I catch up with it, and I just
so
yeah.
in the movie Rogue One took place between, like right before Star Wars: A New Hope. So the first like original 1977 Star Wars.
Mhm.
So what happens is you have Grant. So that's actually a good example of this. Peter Cushing died like years ago. They CGI'd him and had someone else. I guess they used the AI to voice him for the movie. So he was completely computer generated, had the AI voice thing. Then later in that movie, you have R2D2 and C3PO delivering the plans for the Death Star to CGI Princess Leia.
Okay.
And it was after she had passed, but they had already planned to have her in it, and she had passed, and so it was weird. And I just don't want to see them go to a point where they're doing that all the time.
I think you can do it tastefully
Right.
in certain things.
And I thought that was tastefully done.
Right.
But
I think Ghostbusters Afterlife is a good example of doing it tastefully.
Mhm.
And really obviously well with the type of movie that it is too. Extraordinarily tastefully in a weird way, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, then well, then you have instances like they did it with the latest Terminator movie. Not that anyone had passed, but they made Arnold a lot younger, and part of it is kind of strange, but they did it. What I can't remember which one it was. One of the Fast and Furious movies, the one where Paul Walker died. They had to get his brother to fill in, and they kind of did some CGI stuff there. no, several years ago now. So he had some stuff there that I guess he's like, hey, I want to plan this out and finish it out, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I think it can get kind of weird, like you were talking about, like, hey, let's just have a whole nother new movie with Marilyn Monroe or James Dean or one of these people that's been dead for years.
Right.
I think that's when it starts crossing a really odd line,
Right.
and I'm
Like
not signing up for that.
if they decided to do like a sequel to The Sopranos and they used James Gandolfini, if they brought him back to kind of show what happened after the last episode, that'd be fucking weird.
Yeah,
I wouldn't enjoy that, even though I want to know that story. I would rather not know, or I would rather read like the director saying, okay, this is what happened, than see James Gandolfini on my screen. His son did an outstanding job playing a young him in The Many Saints of Newark.
right.
He
Yeah,
did
you're
an
not. I've heard that
outstanding
from a
job.
couple people. Yeah,
But I also don't want to see his son CGI aged up or any of that bullshit,
right.
to play the role. Leave it. Leave it. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. No, tell you what, it's one of those interesting questions. The more it's funny, kind of coming through the headlines, and it's funny. Like I used to click into the tech ones mostly just because I was really curious about the new gadgets and just new stuff coming out. Just because part of it I had to keep up with, but too, like I like to tinker. I like to see what's out there. That's how I came across the Rotary thing, the Rotary phone. But anymore, a lot of the tech stuff is just, I mean, it's just littered with AI stuff,
Right.
and that kind of across with obviously the James Earl Jones thing. That's just a top headline running across, CNN and MSNBC, whatever. Um, it's just really strange. It's like, cool that he did it, but then like, yeah, what else does it really open up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the thing because, like you alluded to it, are you going to have family members of certain people like, oh yeah, you can have their rights? I don't know.
Right.
So, well, man, I don't know. I thought that was this was fun.
Yeah.
Uh, do you have any one thing you want to close this up with whilst you wait for your storm?
All right. So did you see Tom Brady before his game against Green Bay the other day wearing a t-shirt with his own fucking senior picture on it?
It doesn't surprise me. I think the man's losing his mind even more so than he already has.
So here's the best part about the whole thing. So maybe it might not even be a senior picture, but it's a high school yearbook picture, and he just looks like a douche. And it says "Greatness lasts forever," and underneath it just says Brady. So I'm assuming it's from his clothing line, and it is just the douchiest fucking thing that I've ever seen in my life. And as much as I was rooting for, well, I don't want to say rooting for, I was hoping that the Buccaneers would beat um, Psychoactive Plant. I was just, when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Fuck them. I don't want him to ever win anything ever again.
Yeah, of course I was rooting for Aaron Rodgers to do something
Yeah,
because and you know what? I need to look real quick.
I beat you.
I know that.
Oh, I just wanted to say it on the air.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no
Oh
problem.
man, I lost the other one too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who won tonight?
The Cowboys are currently up.
Well, I mean, honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I figured because the Giants are just trash.
Yeah, I thought I had a little more hope though. After week one, and the Titans look pretty good this week. So
Well, what's pretty funny though? That means that the only two unbeaten teams left in the NFL will be the Dolphins and the Eagles.
yeah,
So
and
does that mean an Ace Ventura Super Bowl?
that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Like, I'm kind of thinking maybe that's maybe that's what we're gonna
Well,
get.
just so we can see Swoop punch Ace Ventura, or the other way around. I mean, Ace Ventura punch Swoop.
Listen, if Ace Ventura punches Swoop, I'm gonna punch Ace Ventura. You don't fuck with Swoop. No, you know why? Here's why that will never happen. And it was just his birthday, but because who do you think is going to have Swoop's back in an Ace Ventura fight?
Oh, well, obviously Gritty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't fuck with Gritty.
Gritty, the Fanatic. Who's
Right.
the Sixers one?
Is
What's
it
his name?
still Franklin the dog?
Yeah, it's a dog. The blue dog. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
Is it
Franklin.
Franklin?
Yeah, Franklin.
Yeah, not as cool.
Not as cool, but still, I mean, look, listen, he's named after Benjamin Franklin, who is like, the precursor to Danny DeVito.
That's
I
true.
feel like that's the evolution. It's Ben Franklin, Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, they're both famous, famous Hoa mongers.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
So, no, I mean, I don't want to disparage Danny DeVito like that, but
No.
but Ben Franklin also did say, "Fuck the Cowboys, Philly for life."
He did.
He did. That was actually that's an actual quote from Benjamin Franklin, because I found it on the internet, and that everything on the internet's true.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So,
100%.
well,
Well, I don't know. I think we're on the internet at stuff.
yeah, we are. We're on the internet. We've got like half the internet belongs to us. Just like all your base are belong to us.
That's
So
right.
we've got harambepox.com. We've got doublewhitecoffin.com, which I think we should be coming up on the renew date for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to check with the automatics on that, but that's next month.
Yeah. We've got chupacabrafordicks.com, always be chupacabra.com. Do you like bears.com? We've got bigbeefyshootyboys.com. We've got Harley Quinn Smith AteMyBalls.com. We've got noisebrigadepod.com. And is that all of them?
I think so. Rich, we hope you're enjoying your time with HQS.
Yes, hopefully you and Harley Quinn Smith are enjoying each other's company, and you're licking peanut butter off of each other's orifices.